Russian FAB Heavy Satellite Guided Bomb. Ukraine is now very confused. The number of guided bombs by the Russian military has increased by 16 times compared to last year. Who is the driving force behind this? Ukrainian Deputy Minister of Defense, Lieutenant General Ivan Gavrilyuk, recently stated in a media interview that the Russian military currently has a strong firepower advantage, with a ratio of 7-to-1 ammunition projection on the front line between Russia and Ukraine, which is beneficial for the Russian offensive. The biggest change for the Russian military is the explosive increase in the bombing power of the Russian Air Force. In the 78 days from early 2024 until now, Russian Air Force fighter jets have dropped more than 3,500 aerial bombs on Ukrainian military positions, with an average of 45 bombs dropped per day, an increase of 16 times compared to 2023. Most of the aviation bombs dropped by the Russian army were FAB bombs with UMPK glide guidance kits. The most typical example was in the Battle of Avdiivka, where the core position of the Ukrainian army was bombed by over 200 Russian guided bombs in just 2 days, causing the defending forces to quickly collapse. In the Battle of Bakhmut, such a position required tens of thousands of people to fire hundreds of thousands of shells in order to be captured through hand-to-hand combat. The full name of the UMPK suite used by the Russian military is the Universal Planning and Correction Modules, also known as the Russian version of JDAM. The Russian military has used a large number of UMPK kits to modify bombs, with a wide variety covering FAB 500, FAB 1000, FAB 3000, and even 5,000 kg FAB 5000 glide-guided bombs. From the explosive power of the FAB 3000 bomb, it is a heavyweight bomb with a total weight of up to 3 tons, filled with 1.4 tons of TNT explosive. After the explosion, the shock wave and fragments cause lethal damage within a range of nearly 100 meters, and the impact range can reach about 300 meters. For surface trench works, the power of these heavy bombs is quite terrifying. Almost a single bomb can overturn an entire defense support point or take out trench sections over 200 meters. During the Soviet era, these heavy bombs were used by strategic bombers, such as the Tu-16 bomber, which could carry 2 of these bombs in its pod. However, due to the fact that strategic bombers rarely carried out such aerial bombing missions during the Cold War. Since the FAB 3000 is a bomb suitable for attacking support points and sweeping the trenches completely, it is not difficult to understand why the Russian military is resuming production of this type of bomb. After all, the defense of the Ukrainian army now relies on typical trenches built on forests, circular fortifications built on intersections, or defensive fortifications built on villages. Every time the Russian army attacks these forest trenches and circular fortifications, they have to pay a great price. If there were FAB 3000 now, the construction of the Ukrainian army would basically be the work of one FAB 3000. If one goes down, one circular construction would be gone, and if 3 go down, a small village of less than 1 square kilometer would be basically gone. The UMPK glider guidance kit includes several parts, including a thermal battery, an inertial measurement module, an anti-interference GLONASS navigation module, and a servo. In fact, it is a small glider that can control itself. The pop-up glider wings can drop bombs from a safe location 30 to 60 kilometers away from the front line, and the hit rate is relatively satisfactory, greatly improving the battlefield survival of the carrier aircraft. The most crucial one is the Comet's anti-interference GLONASS global positioning navigation module, with a navigation signal accuracy of 8 to 15 meters when not disturbed. The UMPK glide guidance kit uses a Comet anti-interference GLONASS satellite navigation and positioning module, which has become a universal satellite guidance device widely used in aviation bombs, Iskander-M ballistic missiles, Caliber cruise missiles, and 300mm Tornado satellite-guided rocket launchers. The Comet module can effectively operate in interference signals with a strength of 100,000 times, but due to the high directionality provided by the antenna array, it is difficult to effectively interfere. Opponents need to coordinate and set up numerous interference sources in space to resist, which is difficult to achieve in practice. The Ukrainian military has collected many physical remains of UMPK guidance kits, which first appeared in May 2023. After research by the Ukrainian CAR organization, it is believed that the Comet satellite navigation module integrated in the UMPK kit uses a large number of civilian chips that can be purchased on the public market, while the satellite guidance part is manufactured by other countries. In the past 2 years, the Russian Air Force has basically wasted their air superiority. Due to the lack of cheap guided bombs dropped outside the defense zone, Russian Air Force fighter jets had to carry iron bombs for dangerous and inaccurate aerial bombing. Until the second half of last year, the Russian military suddenly grasped the correct rhythm of satellite-guided bombs and produced a large number of satellite-guided bombs using their inventory of high-resistance bombs. After the use of UMPK glider-guided bombs, the Russian Air Force unleashed tremendous force, sweeping through all Ukrainian fortresses and fortifications. We can compare that in this round of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Israel has dropped 70,000 tons of bombs on the Gaza Strip of Palestine, and 35,000 tons of bombs were dropped in just 1 month since the start of last year's war. If calculated based on each bomb weighing 1,000 pounds, it would be 140,000 bombs. In terms of area, the Gaza area is only 300 square kilometers, with 460 bombs per square kilometer. The UMPK glide-guided bomb modified by the Russian military provides a new and more destructive long-range strike method for many tactical aircraft in Russia, which can keep fighter pilots away from the Ukrainian air defense circle. UMPK glider-guided bombs have become a major headache for the Ukrainian military. At present, the Ukrainian military is deploying long-range anti-aircraft missile systems such as the Patriot in advance, and it is a small-scale dispersed deployment, used to strike Su-34 attack aircraft that drop precision-guided bombs outside the defense area. However, in this way, the safety of the Ukrainian air defense forces near the front line has become a major issue, and in recent days, multiple sets of air defense missile systems have been destroyed by the Russian army. The dramatic development of the Russo-Ukrainian war has given us an important inspiration. Precision-guided bombs modified with satellite guidance kits are extremely important, and the quantity must be sufficient and the price must be cheap enough. From the perspective of strike effectiveness, long-range cruise missiles and ballistic missiles certainly have strong performance, but their cost is too expensive. To achieve widespread bombing, it is necessary to produce and use satellite-guided bombs in large quantities.